Hello and welcome to Tech Week in View, where each week we take the biggest stories from the tech world, eat them, chew them up, spit them out and tell you what we think. Stay tuned. So this week we saw pranksters over at 4chan decide to upload as much porn as possible to YouTube. Really funny, I hear you cry. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? But then until you realise what they were actually doing, what they were doing was uploading children's programs like Hannah Montana or probably Peppa Pig. And then halfway through, or a couple of seconds in, would then it turn to graphical sex scenes. Now, I'm all for playing jokes on people because, hey, that's good fun. And if they were going to say, hijack a real porn site and then halfway through some straight porn suddenly insert some gay porn just as the guy's about to get the exciting moment, then, well, that's quite funny, isn't it? You know, the idea of suddenly getting lemon partied halfway through when you're just getting excited, yeah, that's great, we think that's funny. But guys, the kids, come on, it's a bit unfair. It's a bit, well, it's just a bit uncalled for. Maybe it's because I'm a parent that I sort of suddenly see these things, but, you know, I don't want my children watching a pirated copy of Peppa Pig only to see some graphical sex scenes in the middle. So, please, stay away from the children. Just about to get to that final boss to complete the game that you've been working on for 30 hours, 40 hours, 50 hours. It's taken you a long time. All of a sudden the game crashes, that's it, it's uncompletable. What do? Well, according to the EU, soon you might be able to take the game back and get your money back, which will be great because they've come out with a system that suggests that games should have a 2-year warranty, just like other things that we sometimes buy from the gadget world. Of course, the game world has reacted, well, as you'd probably expect, and said, it will stifle creativity because I'm not expected to make a game that works all the way through. Seems a bit bonkers, really, and, well, the whole concept seems bonkers, to be honest, because what do? You know, you want to create stuff and you understand that game code gets massively huge and therefore there's bound to be some bugs in there somewhere. But at the same time, as a consumer, I don't want to buy something that's not complete. I mean, imagine buying an iPod when you got it home, well, the speakers electrocuted you, the headphones did. Yeah, that's another story, but we'll come to that later. It's a strange one because I don't think the game should have a 2-year warranty, but at the same time, I don't want a game that's duff and that doesn't work and I spent hours getting to and then it didn't work. I used to play Hidden and Dangerous and that happened all the time and then it just annoyed me. So this week saw the launch of search engine Wolfram Alpha, which if the media are to believe is the next Google Slayer, the David and Goliath story that will bring Google's dominance on the internet, well, to an end. Shocking. No Google, blimey. Anyway, so does it work? Well, the interesting thing is it's a computational search engine rather than a suggestive search engine. What does that mean? Well, if you go to Google, say if Google was a library, seems a novel idea, I know, and you go to the librarian, i.e. the search, and you said, hello, can you tell me some information about a certain subject? Then Google would reply with millions of pages where you could possibly get your answer, but as it doesn't really know what the answer is because it doesn't really understand the question, well, it's more of a reading list. It's a suggestion of ideas. The idea with Wolfram Alpha is that you ask it a specific question, 2 + 2, for example, and it would say, I'm not going to give you a suggestion, I know the answer, it's going to be 4. And that's it, simple as that. So if I type in my birthday, for example, it will tell me how many days, months, years, etc. it is since then. It will tell me the sunrise and the sunset because this is all definitive answers. Maybe Big Mac, for example, that will give you the calorific level while Google will suggest where you can get one in your near vicinity via its map service. The problem with Wolfram Alpha at the moment is that it's so precise and so good at answering definitive answers is that nobody really knows how to paraphrase the right questions. So majority of time, if you've tested it or you're going to test it after watching this, you'll find that, well, there are no results come back because it doesn't understand the question that you've asked it because you're not being exact enough in your questioning. Which, in turn, brings me back to the main point of this whole diatribe, or gibberish to some people, is that it's never really going to be a Google Slayer because that's not what it's about. I mean, it's the whole concept of it's an additional tool that will help you out in probably more scientific areas than like, is this a good product, should I buy it? And until that point, until it can work it out, you know, the sort of idea of Star Trek and me saying, computer, give me the answer to this, and it tells me, then Google, well, they don't really have much to worry about. Customer reviews are really helpful, aren't they? I mean, they're useful because they let other customers tell you whether the thing you're about to buy is well worth buying or not. And maybe they might steer you off completely. This is rubbish, this is useless. But every so often they get hijacked by people that, well, are just having a laugh. And that's what happened to Amazon this week with its 3-wolf t-shirt, including Full Moon. Oh yes, that is probably so kitsch and niche that, well, I can't understand why 333 people would write a review and that it would shoot up 2,300% in the Amazon sales rank, unless it's just people having a laugh. What were the reviews? Well, everything from, this made me look good, I was attracted to women, to, well, you can't see the walls when you got your arms crossed. And it just reminded me of this wonderful one I saw on Top Table once about the Oxo Tower in London, and about how some guy had had trouble convincing his girlfriend to, well, be taken up the Oxo Tower. Mind-boggling.